Lois Lane issue 5 sees Lois talk with a woman on her plane ride to Baltimore after the woman recognizes her. The woman is sorry about her Russian friend's death, and Lois says the truth is they didn't really like each other very much, but the woman says her story about 102 journalists being murdered in the last 18 months was pretty shocking and eye-opening, more so that 6 were right there in the US. The woman says that this is what happens when you write whatever you want, and thinks the journalists make things up, but not Lois. She's different to the others. Lois reminds her that they can't make things up and that they need facts and sources and research, like she's doing at the moment while looking into financial records. The woman says that Lois does that, but she's not allowed to do it as well, and who keeps her from making things up? After she lands, Lois calls Renee, who says that she's pursuing a lead, but she doesn't want to tell Lois who they are, since she will want deniability on it. Renee hangs up as she follows Mr. Blakely towards a building, walking by as he enters it. The man goes inside the bar, where a shotgun-wielding man tells him his contact is in the back. Blakely is worried his contact has heard about their situation with Lane, and the bald man warns him not to tell them how to do their jobs as they enter the back room. Renee surprise attacks the men there, surprising the shotgun-wielding man as Blakely flees into the bar. The Question follows after him and attacks the men in the bar as Lois meets with Lydia Sykes in Washington, who wonders how her interview works and if she just becomes an unnamed source. Lois says that she can't quote her directly since their interview is off the record, so she will basically be giving her a compass point, pushing her in the right direction. After explaining what background and deep background is, Lydia says that this is definitely deep background stuff and she's worried someone will see them. Lois tells her that they don't need to do this, but Lydia knows that someone has to, and if not her, then who? Lydia says that kids are dying and no one seems to care, but Lois says that they both care and they both can make it more. Lydia begins crying, saying it won't make a difference one bit, but Lois looks over at the statue of the 2 soldiers they've found themselves in front of, saying that she loves it, but many people don't know what the right message is from it and usually take the wrong message from it. She says the statue represents soldiers who didn't have to fight, but they did anyway, and in the moment they made a choice to do so. After a moment, Lydia says that there is a memo and that Lois wants to know all about it. At the Daily Planet, Perry talks with Lois via phone, learning of the memo. He yells for Jimmy, but the photographer isn't there, so Clark comes in and asks if he can help, but Perry needs help with his bow tie. Clark says hi to his wife as he goes to help Perry, but the editor warns him not to help him. Clark says that he might go see Lois, but Perry tells him to be married on their own time, not his. Clark takes his leave and Perry tells Lois to get that memo, but Lois says that not even Superman could stop her from getting it. Renee meanwhile gathers Blakely's $500,000 in hundreds on the table, telling him that having that money makes him an amateur, since the bills have to be unmarked and out of sequence, unlike what he brought. She talks about being from Gotham and how they have Batman, who thanks to him, she has picked up a few things, like hanging Blakely upside down, knowing it will be very uncomfortable for the criminal. She wants him to answer one question, and if he answers truthfully, he gets to leave. She ungags him and he immediately curses at her, wanting to be let go and yelling for help. However, Renee knows that the money was for a murder and she wants to know whose murder is worth that much money. Lois Lane issue 5 continued to be an engaging mystery thriller that pushed the story in an interesting direction. I love that the book shows off the really complicated procedures and not so glamorous sides of journalism and what it takes to craft an article. Lois also talking about the monument her and her source met at was also a really fantastic analogy for journalism as a whole. Greg Rucka really knows how to write an intense and engaging investigative story, and I can't wait for the next issue. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10.